And what is going on, guys? Happy Friday night. This is the Club of the Man 1993. And while some of you will probably be watching AEW Rampage, which I actually do have on the TV right now, just on mute right now. But while that is going on, I thought I would say, we are live! And we are talking about this past week's episode of AEW. A Dynamite. It took place this past Wednesday, April 27th, 2022, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Of course, last week we were on the western side of PA in my hometown of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And now this past week we were on the eastern side of PA in Philadelphia. We're going to take a look back at everything that happened on the show. Some good stuff. Other stuff that was, decent. Nothing that was really horrible, but another good show. Of course, we had an excellent main event ladder match. We did have the that opener. That was my favorite match of the night for sure. It was that opener for sure. And the match that I was the most excited for. Some storyline advancement. A return. We also had a big announcement. Well, there's two matches happening next week that so far I am really intrigued by two former WWE superstars. All I will say is you can't teach that about one of them. Well, it wasn't revealed, but the clues they gave obviously is going to be him. And of course, one that I've been wanting to make an appearance in AEW. And now that she is in Ring of Honor, did work with Ring of Honor right now, it was now she's going to be appearing on the show this coming week. I'm very excited. I am very excited for this coming week, this coming episode of Dynamite this coming week. But of course, we got to talk about this one first. As we also had our first match for AEW, Double or Nothing, made official as well. Which should be the main event of Double or Nothing. And it is the AEW World Championship. As of now, I will just be watching that match with my good friend, Joe Miller. As Dan Gaiza will be away that weekend. As far as Backlash for next week, I'm not sure if we're going to get together for that. If we don't, I have two matches I plan on doing live reactions for. There was one I was considering, but after tonight's SmackDown, I was trying to do a random 6-man tag match. Why? I don't know. But we're not here to talk about that, of course. And I will, at some point, probably not tonight, but at some point this weekend, probably Sunday, as long as the storms aren't too bad, I got to do a brief video also talking about the releases that happened today for NXT, which most of them I did not know. But also got to talk about a recent interview that a former WWE and hopefully a soon-to-be AEW superstar just did recently that apparently was revealed, talking about some of her frustrations in the company. But that will be at our point this weekend. For now, though, let's get into Dynamite and let's talk about this Philadelphia episode. So, the show opened up, of course, with CM Punk, like usual. But instead of CM Punk actually wrestling, CM Punk was on commentary for this match. And that match is an Owen Hart Foundation tournament qualifying match. Cash Wheeler of FTR versus Dax Harwood of FTR. That's right, you heard that right. Dash Harwood took on his tag team partner, Cash Wheeler, in an Owen Hart Foundation tournament qualifying match. Man, was this was definitely my favorite match of the night. Very old school style, very Bret Hart type, and it wasn't as good as this match, but the match I'm about to mention that is, but it gave me the feel of Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano back in the 2016 Cruiserweight Classic. you were not sure, was this match going to affect their friendship? Was it going to be a friendly thing? Because the match started off with just two friends, just wrestling, trying to outdo each other. But then it got a little bit personal. There was a moment in the match, I think it was Dax, who accidentally poked Cash in the eye. And that was okay, was that on purpose? Was that on accident? But it obviously created that feel, that drama. It felt again, one reason why I've always been a fan of FTR, and of course when they were the Revival in NXT as well, again, is their psychology. No flips, just fists. No, not even one dive at all in this match also. It was literally the two of them trying to use that technique against the other in this match, and it was awesome. Again, FTR is one of the best tag team. I mean, right now, maybe one of the hottest acts for tag team wrestling so far. I mean, in the entire industry today, for sure. As they are just been on fire lately. And this, babyface momentum is definitely, well scouted, well deserved. It's just justifiable. But some very, very good near falls this match. Very smooth, very old school movements as well. Dax Harwood, though, eventually does get the win by pinfall with a small package to qualify for the tournament as he defeats his tag partner, which, of course, it didn't seem like it really affected their friendship that much. I don't know, though. I mean, again, this as great as this match was, I still don't know if I ever really see FTR being single stars. I think they could be, but they're just one of they're doing that. Although yes, they've proven, especially recently in this match, and of course Dax Harwood's match against CM Punk recently, they have proven that they definitely can be single stars. But it's like the Hardys, they can be single stars, but they're just so much better together. That's what I feel about FTR. So probably not going to see them split up anytime soon, of course. I hope they don't really do that at all. But afterwards, we get CM Punk on the microphone. Because the first match made official for Double or Nothing is what CM Punk is now going after now that he's settled back into wrestling. And I'm doing the motion for the belt. Because at Double or Nothing, it is going to be Hangman Adam Page versus CM Punk for the AEW World Championship. That is huge. That is definitely a very unpredictable match. I mean, I can definitely see both go both ways. I can see Page retaining. I can also see Punk winning the title. It's very possible. I mean, for now, it looks like they're just keeping it just face on face and just, CM Punk wanting to bring the best out of Hangman Adam Page. But we'll see the direction they really go with this. But Punk cut this promo saying he's saying how he's never been in a better locker room, and he said when he came back, if he could still do this, and now he can proudly stand here and say, hell yes, he can still do this. And he's a fan of Hangman, and not disparage anyone he shared a ring with, except for maybe Eddie Kingston, but everything up to this point has just been warming up. He, of course, claims that Eddie Kingston was no warm up. He can't promise a win, but he can promise he's going to give, without no doubt about it, at Double or Nothing, he's going to give Hangman Adam Page the best he has. And Page will know he's going to fight with CM Punk, and he'll fight until the wheels come off. I cannot wait for this match. Like I said, it's going to be a very unpredictable match. I don't know which way it's going to go, but I think I found at least one match I'm doing live reactions for when we get to Double or Nothing. Definitely this match at least. So I can't wait to see it. That's for sure. We also get a promo from Dan Lambert and Scorpio Sky hyping up the main event. They put Scorpio Sky's achievements over and says he's got screwed out of the TNT title, and he gives Sammy Guevara some credit. He gives the fans some great ladder moments, but Philly isn't here for that. Philly is here to see him beat Sammy's ass and take that title back. And of course, Sammy Guevara will still go back to his room and play tonsil hockey with Tai Conchi. Oh, I just said it again. Anyways, we also had another good performance by Blackpool Combat Club with Bryan Danielson, Jon Moxley, and the recent big star Wheeler Yuta taking on the Factories, QT Marshall, Aaron Solo, and Nick Comoroto. And of course, Blackpool Combat Club just kicked some ass. Who cares about the Factory? And of course, Wheeler Yuta is just really on fire right now. Like, he's definitely the freshest star that's being built right now. And of course, Blackpool Combat Club do win with a seatbelt pin from Wheeler Yuta onto Nick Comoroto. Nice to see they gave Wheeler Yuta get the pinfall there, of course. We also have the members of the Women's Owen Hart Cup tournament so far, and Dr. Britt Baker, Toni Storm, and Jamie Hayter being interviewed backstage. Britt says how they promised no physicality, and Toni Storm wants to introduce Baker to her pal, Ruby Soho, who also qualified for a tournament. Ruby says how Britt and Jamie show up every new girl to throw their weight around, and as Owen Hart said, enough is enough, and it's time for a change, and she is happy to drop her right here. Jamie wanted to fight, but then Britt Baker begs off and takes her and says, let's take her off, go to catering and find a snack. Basically where Ruby belongs, so it's throwing shots at her being stuck in catering and WWE, which was savage. Of course, she's going to really get the crap beat out of her someday, but that was savage. We also have this segment with Christian Cage and Jurassic Express. Jungle Boy, who was down about not beating Kyle O'Reilly for the Owen Hart qualifying match last week, admits that he could have won. And Christian Cage says he sounds like a loser, but he's still a champion and it won't happen again. So he's going to issue a challenge to a top 5 team, which Team Taz rolls up and accepts the challenge. So they were getting this match either this coming week or sometime very soon. But it is going to be Jurassic Express versus Team Taz's Will Hobbs, a Powerhouse Hobbs, and Ricky Starks. They're still teasing that heel turn over from Christian Cage, which could be coming soon, which I'm for them doing that. Oh, then we got MJF cracking a joke about how women in Philly use their personalities as birth control. But to each, and for cheap heat, and tells everyone to keep quiet for Wardlow's music-free entrance. Wardlow had a match with Lance Archer, which it had a couple good, like, high-flying looking spots for big men. That was pretty good. But, of course, once again, Wardlow wins. And I get it. You wanted, someone who, I think, like Lance Archer, who, even though he hasn't really been thrown a bone and gotten, like, too big of a victory yet, besides him winning the IWGP US title from Jon Moxley in that Texas death match, he still feels like, if you beat him, it still feels like a big deal. But, my gosh, when are we going to stop using Lance Archer as kind of like a holdover feud? I still think he should have been the first ever TNT champion when he feuded with Cody Rhodes. I'm sorry. The build, that was great, but ever then, it's like, again, I love Lance Archer, but again, it's just like, when are you going to throw him a bone? He was built up like a monster, the Murder Hawk monster, and he still does not get thrown a freaking bone. But Wardlow wins the match as he continues his momentum. And then we have a Jericho Appreciation Society segment, where they basically wanted to don't have any physicality. They just want to talk it out with Eddie Kingston and Santana Ortiz. When they came out, Jericho accused them of taking opportunity for them to be seen in Pittsburgh last week, and he wants an apology. Ortiz says he has something better instead and gives him the middle finger. Santana does the same thing and says how Jericho turned on the two dudes who had his back from the beginning. Daniel Garcia says threats don't mean anything because they can't hit them. They get in their faces, and Eddie's had enough and tells them to back up. He hates this crap. He hates everything, like the table, the chair, and none of it matters because they're going to have to get them regardless. So stop with the crap and let's fight. He doesn't care if it's 5-on-3. Let's go. Jericho calls him, of course, stupid, calls him a son of a bitch, and they'll take them out one by one, and they're putting a hit on their asses. And then Eddie asks him, do you even know what a hit means? And in his world, that ends things. Jericho asks if he's going to hit him and get kicked out of another wrestling company before telling him to shut his mouth and do so as he is told. Eddie says he's not going to hit him, but he can smell the fear coming off of him. And when you say a hit in this world, you got to be prepared to put someone in the ground. He's done it before, and is Chris ready for that? Which, of course, we've seen Eddie, of course, beat Chris, but of course now Chris is up on another level of being the heel. Like I said, this Jericho Appreciation Society, again, when it's between Eddie and Chris, it's good. Like I said, I still get Everrise vibes from 2.0. I wish they would have probably gone with something a little bit of a different stable or something. I don't know. I still different remember. So I don't know. I'm still, again, they gotta keep it more focused on just Eddie and Chris, because if not, then I'm just like, I don't know. Serena Deeb and Hikaru Shida had their 5th and final match in a Philly street fight, which was very good. These women have had excellent chemistry. But Serena Deeb does win with a cloverleaf submission. So I guess, because we saw Thunder Rosa watching backstage, I guess this means that we're going to get Serena Deeb and Thunder Rosa, which I believe was Thunder Rosa or was Serena Deeb? Because I think it was Serena Deeb who dethroned Thunder Rosa for the NWA Women's title. So they do have history. So it looks like they're probably going to. It make more sense to have them fight a double or nothing. Thunder Rosa and Serena Deeb. So, okay. Then we got the first of a few announcements for next week that I'm excited about. So we got MJF backstage with Shawn Spears. And he says he's got a plan. And he asks the interviewer to get out of his frame before getting his phone out, and he makes a call. He tells him how he feels about making 6 figures for one match next week. And the guy seemed to accept. Well, Wardlow apparently will fight someone smarter, someone stronger, and someone taller than him. And you can't teach that. By boom! Realest guys in the room! How you doing? Because W. Morrissey from Impact Wrestling, which they had been referring to, is apparently coming to Dynamite next week to take on Wardlow. I mean, it's got to be him. Why else would they say, and you can't teach that? Because who else could it be? Of course, again, that is Big Cass, or as I like to refer to him back in 2017, was Big Ass! Because, of course, his entrance and his head blocking off the sea. I mean, yes, I thought it was weird. He would go like... I don't know, it just looked super weird when he would do that. Also, the fact that his music as a single star was absolute crap, not his fault. Ah, man, that push of a lifetime that just didn't work out because of injuries, and then he went to business for himself. But it's going to be good to see Big Cass again. Well, sorry, W. Morrissey. Again, I did see his, it was last summer, I think it was, or either last summer or last April, whatever it was. The show, when I did watch Impact's Rebellion pay-per-view last year, whenever, that was a show when Kenny Omega won the Impact World title from Rich Swann. I watched that with my friend Joe, of course, and in like a big like multi-man match, Big Cass had made his Impact debut as W. Morrissey, of course, which is his first wrestling show, I believe, since he got out of rehab. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing, because I haven't seen any of his work since that match. So it'll definitely be good to see what he could do for sure against Wardlow as well, and look forward to seeing how impressive he is now. But yes, I'm pretty excited about that when he goes, and you can't teach that. Now, I don't know if this is going to be just like a one-off for AEW, because I think he is still with Impact. I know a lot of people wanted to see him bring in Enzo. I don't know. I mean, it's cool as they'll be able to see Enzo and Cass together again, especially when they had a fallout. I really, over the past few years, have kind of soured on Enzo. I don't know. Just the guy himself, he's so, like I said, he's really full of himself. He's out there for the trends. I don't know. There's something about that just doesn't swing me the right way. So, if they bring him back, cool. But like I said, I've definitely soured a little bit on Enzo over the years. But it will be interesting to see them back together again. But just seeing Cass or W. Morrissey, or if I can say it for one more time, big ass. Oh man, I just love making those jokes when he was a single star. But of course, don't forget. But yes, it sounds like, and of course on Rampage tonight, when Shawn Spears cut a promo, basically said that this guy is 7 feet tall, and he goes, and he has more pee-pee than Wardlow. He was referring to pinnacle potential, but he says he has more pee-pee than Wardlow, which I thought was pretty funny. So yeah, we'll probably be getting Wardlow and W. Morrissey next week in a match, which will be pretty good. We also have this segment where Fuego del Sol was laid out on the ramp, and the House of Black for the first time in a while appear. Malachi Black walks up and knees over Fuego del Sol as Brody King and Buddy Matthews help him up, and Black goes to take his mask off when a rogue man who sounds a lot like Alex Abrahantes appears and tells him a mask is sacred, and if he messes with Fuego, he's going to get burned. He says they've been waiting for the right moment to blindside them, as of course it has been a while since we have seen House of Black, which enters Penta Oscuro, followed shortly thereafter by Pac. Now at this moment, we're thinking that Alex Abrahantes is in the ring. Well, then Alex shows up on the stage. So then it's like, what? Like, who the hell is that? And sure enough, the man takes his cloak off, and it is the returning Rey Fenix, which was awesome. So Death Triangle is back together. They do a beatdown on that's Tony Nese. Sorry, he was. They're about to do the Hook and Danhausen match. But yeah, Rey Fenix returns and they take out the House of Black by blindside, and Death Triangle stands tall. As we're probably going to get that 6-man tag match between, because we did have a 6-man on the buy-in at Revolution, but it was Pac, Penta, and Eric Redbeard taking on House of Black. Now I think we're going to get Death Triangle, Pac, Penta Oscuro, and Rey Fenix versus the House of Black with Malachi Black, Brody King, and Buddy Matthews. So that's going to be an awesome 6-man tag match. Make it a tornado tag match. They really should make that a tornado tag match. We also have an interview with Shane Strickland and Darby Allin. They're going to face off in a qualifying match on Rampage. We have the Undisputed Elite, Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly of Red Dragon versus the Young Bucks versus Brock Anderson, Dante Martin, Lee Johnson, and Varsity Blondes, Brian Pillman Jr. and Griff Garrison. They had a match. Of course, at the beginning, they still were testing, the tension between the Young Bucks and Red Dragon. But, of course, they were able to eventually get it back on the same page for sure. And Undisputed Elite win with a boom from Adam Cole on the Lee Johnson. And afterwards, Red Dragon passes out Undisputed Elite shirts. And everybody puts them on and they stand tall, which is cool. Then we have a backstage segment where Jericho Appreciation Society was beating down on Santana and Ortiz. Then they have Eddie Kingston held down, and Chris Jericho blasted a fireball into Eddie's face. So that was bold there, which was nice. And then we also get announced next week also. Not only do we seem to be getting W. Morrissey coming in for a match against Wardlow, but we're also getting a match involving the Ring of Honor Women's title, Mercedes Martinez, and no one other than, well, I can't say my girl because I'm madly in love, one of my favorite women's wrestlers, Deonna Purrazzo. Deonna Purrazzo is going to be on Dynamite next week. I'm pumped. I've been looking forward to definitely seeing her. You all know how big of a fan I was. Yes, I've had the biggest celebrity crush on Deonna Purrazzo. I'm not going to deny that. Again, my friend got got autographed photos from her wishing me happy birthday, which is still, I think, was pretty darn cool. But I know she's killing it in Impact. That's where she's found her home. I mean, she's not Knockouts champion anymore. Mickie James is. I think she's like, AAA and Ring of Honor Women's Champion now. But she's going to be on Dynamite. The Virtuosa is coming to Dynamite to take on Mercedes Martinez for the Women's ROH Championship next week. I can't wait. I hope that's the main event. I really hope that's the main event for next week. But I'm excited about that. And then finally, the main event on this show, we also have Samoa Joe defending the ROH World Television title against Trent Beretta, which is going to be taking place tonight on Rampage. But main event, Sammy Guevara versus Scorpio Sky in a ladder match for the TNT Championship. And of course, Sammy Guevara again comes up to a chorus of boos because everybody hates the fact that him and Ty Conchi are so public about the relationship. I mean, yes, not breaking laws, but I get how it could definitely get heat on them. So of course, they had several, make out moments in the match. Several times they were teaming up and, acting like heels, which I don't know who the heels or faces are anymore. But still a pretty awesome match. Some pretty good spots. There was a spot in the match, I think, where back whenever Sammy won the title off of Cody in that ladder match earlier this year, which I think was Cody's last AEW match, he was able to jump onto the ladder and hit that like cutter or whatnot. Well, this time, whenever he went to do it on Sky, Sky just just cut him off saying nope, and he did hit the cutter on Cody instead. We did have, Dan Lambert would get involved. He duked it out with Cody. Paige Van Zandt got involved, and she duked it out with Sammy Guevara. With Ty Conchi. But eventually, to my surprise, after all this chaos, the person who gets the victory is Scorpio Sky. Scorpio Sky is now a 2-time TNT champion. I don't know if they did that because of the recent heat that Sammy's gotten or what the plan is of this, but yeah, I'm surprised that they gave Sky the belt back. Because I thought they gave they gave Sky the belt originally, and I thought it was because they were going to have Wardlow win the belt off them. But when that didn't happen, they put it right back on Sammy at Battle of the Belts. So they put it back on him because of the heat, maybe? I don't know, but I'm cool with this. I'm cool with giving Sky a little bit of a longer reign with the TNT title. He definitely deserves it, but let's wait and see, though. So that was a surprise, and afterwards, Frank Kazarian came down and squared up and reminded Sky that he owes him a title shot, to which Scorpio shakes his hand and holds the title high, because apparently he did promise his old tag team partner that if he won the title back, he would give him the first shot. So that'd be a good match. Scorpio Sky and Frankie Kazarian. I love it. Now what's next for Sammy? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But that is the show. That was Dynamite. I thought it was a good show. I gave it just a B, though. Like I said, the best parts of the show was definitely the TNT ladder match. That opener, of course. Everything else was good, but to me, it wasn't like completely blown out of the water. Like I feel like I didn't give the I didn't really give enough credit really to that match with Wardlow and what's their face? Lance Archer. Like I said, the problem I'm having is the fact that it just seems that they continue to put Lance Archer in a spot where he's putting people over, but it's like he should be winning the big one at some point too. But I gave the show a B. I thought it was good. And I'm excited to see what's coming for Double or Nothing. So we had Tyler in a live chat who gave the show a C+, and he thought the main event was too boring, which is fine. I loved it, but that's what you thought, and that's you. And that's going to be it for this episode of my review of Dynamite. Probably not tonight, but at some point this week I'm probably going to do a video also on the recent releases from WWE today. We'll go from there. So once again, guys, as always, what are your thoughts on Dynamite for this week? Your thoughts down in the comment section below. And be sure, as always, to slap a like on the video, subscribe, more content on my channel, and follow me on Twitter as well, at DemandAirboy93. So guys, I'll catch you guys as always. Also, make sure to check out both tournaments I did today also for Mustafa Ali and Tommaso Ciampa. And I'll catch you guys later. Have a great rest of your night. Have a great weekend. Peace out, everybody.